All right, we should be live. Hello, everybody. Today, I am here with Juniper. Hi, Juniper.
Hello.
So, as you guys can tell from the title description and the little warning thing in the chat, we are going to be talking about Mawaru Penguindrum, an anime I told you guys to watch over the month. I don't know if you guys did or not. I know at least Mercer did, so. Mm, is there any points you want to talk about, Juniper?
I feel like as someone who's watched it multiple times, I should probably wait for first time watchers to, I guess, bring things up before I do.
Alright. I, I'm gonna be monkey right now. Yeah, you showed that in the Discord. But something I want to bring out. The first thing I really want, that ending. There is so much things you can interpret from it, and it is just what I don't know what to think. There's so many theories I have. Like, did they all eventually remember they were siblings again, or did they just continue living life as strangers? How did Shoma and Kamba meet again? It's just so much. I have so many questions, but no answers. Do you have anything you want to say about that ending? Because that's
I mean, one thing I really like about the anime as a whole is that it doesn't necessarily make things obvious to you. It likes to drip feed information and, I guess, put a lot of emphasis on detail to leave people to. Wait, Seven saying you're muted.
uh that's not possible. It's
Detail
it should be good.
to leave people to.
Oops, that's yeah. My thingy's moving, and I can see the mic go up. So I don't know why I said I'm muted, but there he was it not talking before? Well, either way, we're talking about the ending, and you can continue, Juniper.
Right, as I was saying, lots of attention to detail, and it leaves people. It leaves it up to people to kind of piece things together and figure out what's going on for themselves.
Very true. That's something I discovered more to the end, where I was like, "Oh my goodness, that Masako is Kanba's real sister. They're a fake family." It was all just like crazy, everything just clicking together, and it was just like, "Whoa." JoJo's Part One next year. It was moving. He was. Oh, okay. Um. Yeah, I think all of it was just really crazy. And it felt like a totally different anime at the start than it was at the end, which is really cool. And I don't think many anime really do that. It feels like it's the same kind of thing, start and ending. Because you thought so many things at the well, I mean, I thought so many things at the beginning that were just all completely wrong. Like I thought, what at the I think it was either the first or second episode, Kanba kisses Himari, and I'm like, whoa, so this is like about incest, but it's not. It's not at all. I don't even think he likes her that way. It was more of just like he saw this girl as he felt like it was his little sister, but it wasn't really, which I thought was really cool. This anime's a
Yeah, the
JoJo.
fact that it's not really explained what the end of the first episode really is until halfway through the entire anime is, well, it really just tells you what to expect from the anime as a whole, I think.
It's so cool. And I wasn't I from what I thought about the hat. I want to bring that up is I thought it was like an alien being or something because they kept saying it was extraterrestrial, but it's Masako, which is completely way off from what I thought it was. It was crazy. I was not expecting that at all. Mawaru Penguindrum is a JoJo. I don't think it's a JoJo reference.
It was kind of funny how Shoma was convinced it was some kind of alien. That's probably where you got the idea from.
Yeah, that because I remember they kept saying extraterrestrial, extraterrestrial, like each time. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't I tell you what? I told you what time it started. But yeah, Mercer's in chat now. The only other person who I think watched the anime. But so cool. It's such a different anime from any of like the mainstream kind of things you see nowadays. Because this was just like it was for the viewer to figure everything out and not the because a lot of animes let the viewer know everything that's going on but they don't let the characters know, but this one the characters knew and we didn't know, and I thought that was really cool. Mercer says this anime was amazing. I have to agree. It's really good. I really enjoyed watching it from start to finish. It was so cool. And the little ending screen is adorable. Let me see if I can pull up the very last thing. And I don't think we ever got to know what Himari was sick with, did we? Because I don't remember them ever saying what it was.
Um, well, the thing about that is it was basically said that the reason she was sick was as some sort of family punishment because of what their parents did.
Yeah, that's what.
Or I guess technically what Shoma's parents did. But other than that, there isn't really much, I guess, specificity for it.
Yeah. Oh, Mercer brought up Ringo. As soon as as Ringo's story started getting clear, I knew it was gonna be good. Yes, I hated her at the start. I was like, she's so weird. She's a creep. But you get to know she's traumatized. She just wants attention, love. She wants to be Momaka. And that's just like holy, like completely different character than you thought she was from the beginning. Also, hi Gambit.
I think the I guess we'll call it the Project M arc from episodes 3 through 8.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a slow burn, but it definitely, I guess, builds up to the rest of everything else that goes on when the anime really starts taking off. And yeah, discovering the motives behind Ringo's actions really starts putting things in perspective, especially once you start getting into exactly what kind of person Momoka was when she was alive and how she died. It all just starts coming together.
Yeah. Mercer says, I didn't like you didn't like show? Why not? I thought show. I thought I don't know. I didn't really. I feel like show, even though he was kind of one of the major characters, I feel like we didn't really get to see like too much like character depth, if that makes any sense, of from him or change in him.
I didn't really have a problem with Shoma's character personally, though he's definitely a bit. I guess I'm not sure quite the word I'm looking for. I guess it seems like he's not the most aware of what's going on a lot of the time, but still tries to act on what he thinks is the right thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, I thought show was pretty good. I liked show, but I didn't. I guess what I'm my point is I would have liked to see more because pretty much everyone we got to see a beginning and end, and Shoma, all we got to see was his flashbacks. That were the only major things from him besides him helping Ringo and stuff. Um, and because even his ending was just pretty much was his beginning that we just didn't know. The fruit of fate. How he not only got Himari into the family. So I guess he is like the center of the plot, and that's all there is kind of to him.
I guess to put it simply, he's not necessarily the brightest, but his heart is in the right place, I think.
I agree, and
And
I
I
agree.
think sacrificing himself for Ringo at the end is probably a good illustration of that.
Yes, that was beautiful. It's just but Michael, those kids at the end, I swear they were in like one of the earlier episodes, right? Because I remember hearing kids talk about the same exact things they were.
Yeah, that was in episode 1, I believe. They were talking about how the apple is the universe itself.
Exactly. And I want I'm something I'm kind of confused about is the boxes, like how they were trapped in boxes, and Kanba pretty much saved Shoma by giving him his half of the apple. I have so many questions about that. What did the boxes mean? Were they symbolic? Were they literal cages they were trapped in? And where did the apple come from?
They were definitely symbolic. That it wasn't all in one scene, I don't think. So I guess
No,
that
it was cut out.
series of scenes basically represented how Shoma took Kanba into their family by Well, I guess when Kanba shared his feet with Shoma, as they were both, I guess, indoctrinated into what was effectively a cult by their parents.
Boxes are usually something that you put. No, in the anime, they were pretty much in like cages, and one of the characters gets an apple out of nowhere, and the other one pretty much accepts his fate, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna die," but then the other character splits the apple and gives him a half, so they both live. But you said there was topics you had in mind. Do you want to talk about those now?
Um, well, I guess it mainly comes down to the little details that I didn't actually catch on my first time watching, but really stood out to me on rewatching. I need to ask, did any of you catch in the flashback where the Takakura's dad gets a phone call about how his son was born in the hospital, but it was only one son despite the fact that Shoma and Kambo were supposed to be twins,
I did hear that. And I was
and
like,
that was
it kept
before it
saying
was
one.
ever revealed that they were not biological siblings.
It, I was very confused on that as well. I thought like they were just like born on different days, and they were just calling them like twins just because they were close in days. But like their birthdays were close, but they weren't on the same date. But apparently, they were completely different. Not it's just so crazy. Kamba definitely the no line I won't cross brother, and Shoma was the we need to do things the right way brother. I also agree, but yeah, in the end they did both save Himari. Can't lie, I was glad when they weren't siblings with all that soulmate stuff. Yeah, yeah, I was very confused like when he kissed her and when Himari was saying that Shoma was her soulmate and all that stuff and yeah, I don't. Well, obviously, by the time when she called Shoma her soulmate, we already knew that Himari wasn't a biological one, at least.
Though Masako did end up actually kissing Kanba before it was revealed that they were biological siblings, but anyway.
Did did they really?
Another thing I thought was a nice touch. Yeah, it was in the hospital scene. Or not scene, but in that episode.
I know when you're talking about. I don't remember them kiss. That's okay.
Anyway, as I was gonna say, what I did think was also a nice touch was when Himari had Ringo over, and so the brothers ended up turning the photos face down that had their parents in them, since they didn't want anyone to find out they were associated.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, and apparently Ringo is in possession of the Death Note. That was an Easter egg.
Really? I did not see that. a question I do have that was also kind of up for interpretation was the scene where Yuri almost like where Yuri steals Ringo and kidnaps her and drugs her and whatever. I don't know if she actually R worded her or not.
Well, if I recall correctly, whatever was happening there did get interrupted.
Yeah, Shoma comes in and then Yuri knocks Shoma out and then Shoma wakes up next to Ringo. But it's the wording of Ringo at when she's calling Shoma, it just feels like it already happened by the time she's making that call. But I don't know if that's just a bad interpretation on my part, but
And it's honestly kind of sad, holding off what Mercer said, how Ringo felt the need to, I guess, relive Mamoka's life in
yeah.
order to get her parents back together.
Yeah, that and then the way we learn about that they're actually divorced, it's so sad. He already has another wife. Maybe Ringo is just drunk. Maybe that could also be true. Also, the fruit of fate, is that a real thing? Fruit of fate. I'm googling.
I'm not entirely sure what all the, I guess, real world connections are with the anime. There are lots of references to a specific terrorist attack in the subway, which was what all the spinning circle symbols were about. And I guess the implication that that's what, or that was the event that caused Momoka's death. It was strange how Ringo's dad did seem to be the one who wanted to focus on Ringo rather than dwell on Momoka's death, but he's the one who ended up leaving their family.
Yeah, it was pretty sad. And then the curry day, I thought that was so sad how basically it was supposed to be like the one day the family's supposed to get it together and to eat, and then the mom pretty much said, "No, I'll just do it somewhere else and you can do it wherever." And that was just sad. It's very similar to Adam and Eve with the apple. That's what I was thinking, but I don't remember it being called the fruit of fate because that's where they're saying about the first people on Earth. So
I'm pretty sure it's something completely different in that myth. It's, I mean, it's supposed to represent sin in that, isn't it?
yeah, so I
Forgive me if I'm not the most well versed in Christianity.
me neither. But yeah, it's supposed to represent the first sin of I forgot which sin it was, but it represents the first sin. a snake convinces Eve to eat it or whatever and makes the first sin. And that's all I know about it. But the fruit of fate, in this anime, I'm trying to see like what it symbolizes because it's they kind of make it like like I don't know how to explain it. Like a promise almost.
I think one thing that I've never completely understood is what all the different variations of penguin symbols are supposed to represent, because there are a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Um I know the Kiga was like the blue penguins like how they had. And also speaking of penguins, freaking Kanba's penguin was so weird. Every scene he was just getting some kind of magazine or something. And I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, the penguins were something else. Surprisingly, not the most relevant to the anime, literally called Mawaru Penguindrum.
Yeah.
They were almost just comic relief most of the time.
Yeah. Um I I'm just trying to because I feel like the penguins did almost symbolize something because how I want to almost say like obviously no guarantee I didn't write the anime. Kanba isn't a playboy like he well I mean I feel like it's an act he puts up and that's what the penguin is representing. It is almost his foil. It's his the act he puts up versus who he really is and just wants he just focuses on family of Shomo and Himari and his main focus is Himari. And he's not and he's truly isn't just the guy who breaks hearts. I like how Kanba always had plasters on cuz Kanba was always getting messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, he looked like he was in pretty rough shape after the truck chase.
Oh yeah.
That looked pretty brutal.
Mhm. Also something I still can't tell how they want the how the authors or whatever wants us to view everyone's relationship because Himari was saying Shoma was the soulmate but when she had the hat on she pretty much it viewed as if she had kissed Kanba when she was saying the penguin drum is your and then it cut off it looked like she was getting on top of him and kissing him and then obviously the kiss at the start. I thought at the beginning was that he liked Himari, but it could also be viewed as like he did see her as a little sister, and that's what he wanted to believe. Yes, he is the only one chat who watched the anime.
Okay, now it's just her tearing out his scorpion fire.
Oh, that makes more sense. back. I had to shout.
which in the end turned out to be the Penguindrum the whole time, which was something.
Yeah, yeah, which they could have probably skipped a lot of the stuff, which is also why I don't understand Kanba's little like villain arc thing. Like I don't know why he did that when he pretty much knew that he was the Penguin Drum in a sense, and he kind of knew it because obviously the hat the hat told him. So what my question is why did he do that? Why did he plant the bears? Why was he trying to go through with everything?
I think he was just, well, I think as Mercer said, he would basically do anything for Himari, and he was just trying everything he can instead of, I guess, trusting that just his scorpion fire was enough because he was he wasn't really led to believe that it was enough.
Just have to tell people to get you monetized. I mean, we're 100 subscribers away, so who knows? Um, but yeah, I think yeah. Um, Also something really sad that Kanba still full heartedly believed his parents were alive was awful. It was so sad.
I think it was more that he was still relying on his parents in a way, despite the fact that they were already dead,
Yeah,
and despite the fact that he was ashamed of what they had done.
yeah.
Though Mercer is mentioning Momoka, who is definitely an extremely important character.
Mhm. Um so Momika, I she's the one who transferred fates multiple times, and I guess technically in a sense she helped Ringo pretty much get them to transfer fates one last time, and which was kind of weird in my opinion because usually they said that after they transferred fates only she would remember, but even after Ringo was the one who transferred the fate, Ringo still couldn't remember a thing, which was a little interesting in my opinion.
Yeah, it's not entirely clear on how it works, I don't think, because the way it worked for Momoka was just different from the way, or I guess the cost of it was different for Momoka than it was for Ringo.
True. Do you have anything to say on Momika Mercer? How did this 10-year-old girl influence so much? That is true. Where did she obtain this diary in the first place is a question we do not have the answer to.
Yeah, that was never really explained. And it was obviously shown how she was able to influence the lives of others, like Yuri and
Habuki.
gosh, what was his name again? Tabuki. And how it how she tried to prevent the terrorist attack in the subway, and how her life ended up leading to Yuri and Tabuki's actions and Ringo's actions, and you do have to wonder who she was before all that, though I don't think there's really an answer.
Not not really. All we have is Yuri's telling them the similarities between Ringo and Momika to go off of what she was like and the little clip she is in. But something I thought was really interesting is how Hat Himari, I guess you can call her, um every time she opened, she would say, listen here, you low lives who will never amount to anything. And then I think it was really almost like a full circle kind of thing when Himari said that to herself, that she was never gonna amount to anything when she was in the child broiler boiler, one of the two.
The child broiler?
Yes, that.
I'm not sure how well you remember the opening lines to the anime, but Shoma does say that about the three of them as well.
mm, I I don't think I do remember that, but that's
At the end
cool.
of his I hate the word fate monologue.
Actually, I could pull it up. Um,
I also really love how you get to see both Kanba's and Ringo's perspectives, I guess, in contrast or in relation to that at the end of the first episode and beginning of the second one, respectively.
yeah, and I think the one part I really liked was the little part where with her mom, where she said she wanted him Himiri with her mom, where she said she wanted a specific bow, and the mom got a different one, and then mom got hurt because of Himari and the guilt Himari felt, and then now that their mom wasn't there, was really, I think it was really, like, I thought it was really cute. You're not doing any
Another
of those
thing
things.
that I really liked about the anime was all the visuals that were a result of all the patterns on screen. You didn't really see as much of that in the early episodes, but starting with the one in the hospital and the one in the library, it's honestly kind of breathtaking.
Yeah, it does. I feel like, yeah, this anime was way ahead of. I mean, when was this released? When was Mawaru Penguindrum.
Well, Himari dropped out of Triple H due to her parents' background, and Double H went on to become pop stars, obviously, with, you know, magazine articles and the subway clips, not sure what to call them. And in the, I guess, ending after fate had been changed, there wasn't really any indication that Himari had been in relation with Double H during that timeline.
How she did knit scarves, and then because this whole anime is kind of almost like a domino effect. One pushes and then everything kind of comes together. Um, no, what she did was she gave them scarves, and then she came back and was like, "Oh, we have a song that is based off Himari's favorite like phrase, which eventually gave Ringo the phrase she needed to transfer fates, which is it. Like I said, like the domino effect."
It's definitely sad that the ending kind of broke apart a lot of their close relationships.
Yeah,
But on the plus side, none of them were completely alone and they didn't have to deal with their tragic backstories, for lack of a better way to put it.
yeah. Um, it in I in my opinion, I really don't think I like the ending, and then I do at the same time, which is really weird. But I don't like how not only Masako half remembers Kanba, she thinks she dreamt about him, and I think that's sad. And then Himari still got the note that she had brothers, and she was crying over the fact, but she didn't know why she was crying. And I and then Ringo and Himari only became friends again because they fainted on the train at the same time. And I want to believe, and I think it is supposed to be interpreted as those two little kids are Sho and Khan again, and they are just kind of. Let me pop it up, like the final scene up on screen.
お兄ちゃん？誰？
ひまりちゃん？
あれ、変だな。どうして私泣いてるの？
つまりリンゴは愛による死を自ら選択したものへのご褒美でもあるんだよ。
でも死んだら全部おしまいじゃん。
おしまいじゃないよ。むしろそこから始まるってケンジは言いたいんだ。
私は運命って言葉が好き。信じてるよ。いつだって一人なんかじゃない。
ねえ、僕たちどこ行く？
どこへ行きたい？
そうだな。じゃあ。
Mawaru Penguindrum. But yeah, I at least like the fact that if everyone did forget about them, they didn't forget about each other, and that is them together. I would like to think that.
And of course, the ending wraps right back around to, I guess, Himari's monologue about how she feels about the word fate.
Yeah. I just love this. This is such. It is so well written, and it's just to be that author would be. He had to know everything he wanted from the very beginning. He had to know how he wanted it to end and how exactly he wanted to end. To put pretty much the ending scene in the first episode without anyone knowing, really. And it's just mind blowing.
There is a reason it's one of my favorite anime.
What is that reason?
Lots of reasons, I guess. It's kind of hard to pinpoint one reason.
Do you just want to say all the reasons? You can go ahead.
I mean, it's more just the anime in its entirety. How the entire thing comes together.
Yeah, it is. I do like how it all does tie back to pretty much everything. No one scene is just not important. Everything connects.
Why is Chet talking about Madara?
I don't know. They're literally talking about Naruto in a Mawaru Penguindrum stream.
The reason why Mawaru Penguindrum is the one I always recommend is because barely anyone's seen it or even heard of it.
Yeah, I had no idea what the heck it was when you recommended it to me, but I'm glad you did. It was good. It was very good. Hey, I'm sorry, I'm Joyed. Don't worry about it. You can talk about whatever you want. I just thought it was funny. Every few episodes, I thought, oh, this person's the villain, and then, oh, they're actually pretty good. Yeah, because at the start you think, oh, Ringo's the bad guy. Then you're like, oh no, it's not. She's actually pretty good. Then you're like, oh, it's the parents. Oh, it's Tabuki. Oh, it's Yuri. Oh, it's and then you learn, oh, it is. I mean, in a sense, and then you learn like it's the doctor guy, but in a sense, like this life is the villain, is what they say. Life itself is a punishment.
I'll be honest, Sanetoshi is a pretty mysterious character, even after watching everything multiple times.
Yeah, you never do really get a read on him almost ever. Yeah, it was the doctor, it was the sketchy pink haired guy. He's secretly a ghost that convinced the parents in the first place to do the terrorist attack, and then he convinced Kanba. Life is a punishment. It gives you these negative thoughts and positive, and those positive give you hope. Your hope falls by a loved one dying. My sister died. My hope lost a long time ago. Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss, Kakashi, but that is kind of what the whole purpose of the anime in a way. And I think that is pretty beautiful. But as I showed you guys at the end, they say, it wasn't for nothing, and dying out of love or for love was like the best kind of thing. And it is just it's beautiful. Also, did they just call the penguin drum just to call it the penguin drum, or is there a meaning behind penguin drum?
I'm not entirely sure. I mean, it's kind of explained that penguins in general represent not really belonging anywhere. I'm not sure that penguin drum specifically has any real world connections.
Yeah, trying to think. Hmm. And the child boiler is symbolic, right? I don't think they actually is trying to like convey that they are actually shredding up kids. I think what they mean by in unwanted where the unwanted kids go and then they become invisible is like no one no one wants them and they go unseen. Not that they actually get shredded into like glass, I hope.
I think it was pretty clear that children don't literally get broiled, but I think it's more symbolic of children being, I guess, metaphorically broiled.
It's weird how the penguins stuck around after the end. Yeah, it shows that they in the scene that I just showed that they follow what I have came to the conclusion believing that is Shoma and Khan, and they go into like the universe or something. Um, it is and the amount of story the amount of lore this anime has for 24 episodes is absolutely insane.
Yeah, they really don't waste any runtime. Though I'll be honest, I don't normally watch anime much longer than that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's for me. It depends on what anime it is, because I have watched some of One Piece. Don't know if I'll ever get around to watching everything again. But yeah, Like I do like those kind of really good story in not in a kind of short amount, like Steins Gate. That's why Steins Gate's my favorite.
Steins Gate is also my dad's favorite anime.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. You have a cool dad. I love your dad. Not in a weird way. Sorry. The way Kanba gave fruit to Shoma, then Shoma to Himari, then finally Himari back to Kanba was interesting. Yeah, because it showed that they it's like, I don't know if you guys ever learned this in your elementary schools, but like the kindness boomerang. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that, but essentially is one person's can change another person's to then change another person's life, and then it goes on and on and on. And I think that it was a small world to them, and they did save people like that. And I guess Yuri, Tabuki, and Momoka are kind of their foil in a sense. For those of you who don't know, foil it basically means like kind of their opposites. As in, they did lose their center. Like if they did lose Himari, that's kind of what they would be in Yuri and Tabuki. But since they didn't, they become themselves, obviously. Anime Club is awesome. Thank you, thank
I
you.
think that concept is generally more known as karma.
Oh yeah. See, Juniper with the smarts over here. Keep forgetting karma existing. I did actually finally see Venom 3, and it was, I mean, in a way, yeah, it kind of was like this. The whole anime was essentially do the right good thing, and you'll be paid back for it in the end. Kind of, but obviously, as you said, Mercer, Kanbo was the person to be. He would do anything for Himari to guarantee her safety.
I'm not sure that's necessarily true because I don't think everyone really got paid back for all their good deeds. I mean, just look at Momoka.
Yeah, yeah, that is also kind of true. Poor Momoka, dude. She, I think her character as a concept, like the concept of her character is so sad. Um, because the only reason she did end up dying is because she wanted to save people, which is just sad. And um she probably didn't choose that path to have that power. Obviously, it was probably bestowed. She was probably chosen, but she didn't choose. Like kind of like Spider-Man in a sense. Um, but yeah, obviously she's felt a sense of duty to to save at least some people because she saved Tabuki. We're that's my inference that she did save Tabuki. Yeah, it is. Her concept is pretty sad. And also, I noticed there is a movie. Is that like, does it continue on the story or does it just recap everything?
Are you talking about Recycle of the Penguindrum?
Yeah, that.
It's basically a retelling of the story. It's something that is, I guess, meant to be watched by people who have watched the anime, but it's not its own separate story.
Interesting. Marcia says part of that is because you can't just have this perfect girl saving everyone, or else it starts. Yeah. She was she was kind of meant to be sacrificed, obviously, but like I said, the concept of that is just sad. But yeah, she did need to do that to at least try and save some people. In the end, she did end up saving a lot of people, including she saved Himari and Ringo. I mean, technically, Shoma saved Ringo, but
I think a Dragon Ball Z recap on Mawaru Penguindrum would be kind of impossible considering just how jam-packed of an anime it is.
you kind of do have to watch the whole thing to understand everything. She's like the character at the very start of every Disney movie that dies for this. Yeah, she's the what's the word? There's like a special word for it. I can't remember.
Marde?
No, it means like the starting point of something, like where it forces the stuff to actually happen. Let me Google it. The the phrase, the point. Um, it's, I can't really find it, but she's what gets the ball rolling. You're streaming Pokemon up. Yeah, we are. Three Steam streams in one table. Yeah. Yeah, Demon Slayer is good, but I would also like to do finished anime for this anime club series, and I don't want it to be long. So obviously, no One Piece, no Naruto, and I would like them to be more unknown, so we do find more hidden gems in this, in the anime club kind of stream series. I'm trying to think.
I definitely know some hidden gems, but I also don't want to recommend another one because I'm the one who suggested Mawaru Penguindrum.
You could suggest as many as you want. To be honest, like I'm fully up for anything. How many hours from now is the Pokemon thing? A lot. We have a lot of time. I made sure of it. Let's see. Was there anything else I kind of wanted to talk about? The I don't understand Mario's character kind of cuz he has the other half of Momika, but he doesn't really do anything with that half. So yeah, it kind of his character kind of confuses me greatly. Like, what's the point of him having that half, and instead of just the whole Momika's whole half, just like her whole body just being in Himari's penguin hat.
I mean, he is there to kind of act as a counterpart to Himari, giving um basically he acted as motivation for Masako to get involved in the whole Penguindrum thing and find the diary and I guess show that Kanba has another family, a real biological family that I guess he's kind of torn between.
True.
Ryu himself doesn't really do much of anything.
Not really. Um, let's see. Also, what was like Kanba's scorpion fight? Like, what is it kind of like? Like, is it his life force, or is it just like, I don't know. I didn't quite understand that.
Scorpion fire is something else that's connected to Japanese culture. It kind of represents the forgive me if I don't really explain this the most precisely, but it basically represents the selflessness and self-sacrifice of a person.
That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. That's cool. And I really like how I really do like the relationship between Kanba and Shoma. I think it's like they have a really good relationship even though they're not biologically family. They still act like brothers, and I think they have a good, and I'm glad that they were the two that remembered everything and stuck together at the end.
I'm kind of surprised no one's brought up the survival strategy sequence.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that. I love the music. I think it's really good. I'm just a rock and roll man. It's a good song. I like it.
I have to wonder how much of the animation budget went into it. But, I mean, it's not like the rest of the anime doesn't also have great visuals.
Yeah. It's weird that they ended up as little kids again. I mean, that's kind of how they met. Because what I think is they're not like alive again in a sense, but they're like together wherever they are. Like how it showed them pretty much walking through the universe. I think they're kind of like a, probably I don't know how to explain it. Well, like they did die and they're not in the living world, but they're like in that space between, if that makes any sense. But the whole point of it is that they're together, and I think they're kids because they did kind of meet and kind of saved each other as kids. Rebecca Sugar watched this anime? Crazy. Also, can we talk about what Yuri's dad was pretty much doing to? I mean, she pretty much was breaking her skin and bones, and I'm not sure if that's how something becomes beautiful. And I think that was pretty messed up.
I mean, I'm not sure I necessarily want to go into detail about that.
Kind of like the ending of Future Diary. Um, it- Ironic considering this anime has a future diary. Yeah, yeah. That that is pretty weird. But it is
Well, it's not really a future diary, it's a past diary that Ringo treats as a future diary.
true. My question is how did Ringo not know the spell at all? That's my question. Because I feel Momoko would write down about that a lot.
I'm not sure that's necessarily something Momoko would have in her diary.
Maybe.
It seems kind of important and not something you would necessarily want to leave somewhere for other people to find it.
True.
And I don't think Momoko really had anything in her diary about changing the fate of others.
No, she just had like the date she went on with Tabuki, and that's, or at least what Ringo read, and that's it.
One thing I'm not actually sure about that I just remembered, somehow what was written in the diary ended up being linked to events that had nothing to do with Ringo. Like when why am I blanking on her name again?
Who, Yuri?
When Masako pushed the pop star down the stairs or down the escalator wearing red heels.
Hmm, that's true. And I think it was so not smart that Ringo pretty much handed Masako the diary when Kamba pretty much told her keep it, and that he got it. He knows what he's doing. But I guess at the same time she was kind of freaking out.
Asami, that's the pop star's name.
Which one? It's the one who got her memories erased, right?
The well, one of them, yeah.
Red heels girl. He seemed to focus on the other parts of that. Yeah, I guess that is also true. Also, I liked how they didn't question the penguins after the first time they saw him. I like how Shoma was the only one kind of concerned.
Yeah, Kamba and Himari just kind of accepted them at face value and talked to Shoma like he was crazy when he was surprised by them.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like anyone would be. I don't know why they were. At first, I thought Ringo pushed her. Me too. Me too. Because the way she was narrating at that point. What ate you guys talking about? Because what are you guys talking about? Because I'm talking about the fifth dimension Georgia. We are not talking about the fifth dimension Georgia. We're talking about the title of the stream, dude. I, I'm trying to think of if there's anything else we can talk about. Oh, Ringo's stalker habits. I was so surprised by her character at first. I genuinely really didn't like her at all. When she was first introduced, and that was obviously kind of the point. You weren't supposed to like her at first because they just portrayed her as a stalker that was pretty much went to go stalk and live under the house of Shoma's teacher, and it was really weird. not only because of the age gap, but just how she was doing it, like just chilling under his floorboards and just listening to what he was saying about the TV.
It's pretty clear that she wasn't in her right mind doing all that.
Yeah, but it is better knowing she had a a motive in a sense. Interesting how the author made a magical girl no kind of show where the magical girl wasn't the main character. It was more about the people around her and the effects on their lives. That is that is interesting.
I wouldn't really call it a magical girl anime, it just has a magical girl transformation sequence. A very elaborate one.
Yeah, and I thought because obviously I knew it probably wasn't a big budget project, but they used the same scene over and over again, including her walking down the stairs and taking off the same fabrics of clothing like at each point in the exact same time. But like obviously it was still a cool sequence, and obviously they probably weren't a big budget studio, and it wasn't probably wasn't a big budget project.
I mean, they probably put so much into that one sequence that they wanted to get as much as they could out of it.
True. Why did she strip, by the way? That is a very good question because she I mean she could have just kept all the cool dress. She could have. Did she? No. But kind of yeah, it was kind of out of nowhere.
I don't know, something about the scorpion fire absorption thing or whatever.
Yeah, and I
Can't
yeah.
do that fully clothed, I guess.
And the first time I saw it, I was like, whoa. Emery, what are you doing? But I mean, I guess you kind of get used to it since it kind of popped up every other episode.
I'm pretty sure that sequence happens twice in one episode. I don't remember exactly which one.
Also, I like how the hat just finds ways to get on Himari's head. Like, it just appears on there. Like when she's eating the. I forgot what it's called, but she's eating like the little balls they made together in the hospital. And then they turn around and they look back at her and she just has the hat still eating, and then it goes into the survival strategy. Will you stop talking about Kendrick Lamar?
It is kind of funny how the hat just appears on her head, and things like how the crowds are almost always depicted as just figures and not actual people.
Yeah. I thought it was cool though. Thought it was smart.
And that one scene in, what was it, episode 7 or 8, where Ringo's face just transforms was kind of, oh, it was really something. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Momoko is kind of a jerk as the hat personality. I yeah. Yeah, I really don't know why she was like that. Cause obviously when Shoma went away, she became way more nicer to Kamba. She seems so nice, but in the hat, she was just so yeah. I really don't know.
I don't think the hat is necessarily Momoka herself, but more, I guess, an extension of her.
Sure.
I mean, in the end, she's seen dragging the two hats away.
Yeah. The name she called Ringo. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was so messed up. She saw. I mean, technically, like Juniper said, it was probably not Momika herself because I don't think she would say that to. Well, I mean, at the same time, I don't think she would. She technically didn't get to meet her sister.
To be fair, Ringo was being a perverted stalker
Yeah, she.
for
Yeah.
Momoka's love interest.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's pretty weird. It's kind of a part of Momika. Yeah, it is supposed to be like her essence or something. I know it's supposed to be her in a sense, but I don't think it's her. That makes any sense. She's 100% was a creepy stalker. Yeah, yeah. But I think. All right. Why are we talking about Ken? Anyways, I think it was pretty like nice that or not nice, but it was interesting how she was forcing herself to say, "Oh yeah, quote unquote loves Tabuki," and then she realized, or Yuri pretty much helps her realize she's not. She loves Shoma, and that's just like she doesn't know what love does feel like, and that is also kind of a reflection of her parents in a sense. But yeah, I think it's pretty kind of beautiful. That shit. That well, not beautiful, but interesting, I guess. Cool. That's the best way to put it. It's not just her original personality. No, it's definitely not just yeah. Something else thrown in the mix there.
I guess the question is, what do you think would be good for the next anime?
That's so interesting. Chat, do you guys have any suggestions? Any hidden gem kind of animes? Cause trying to think. We could just Google um short but good animes. 25 best short animes of all time. Let's just go to number one.
You mean as a love interest, Mercer? Because I'm not sure you would necessarily choose either one, honestly.
Yeah.
僕は
I
運
don't
命っ
think
て
he
言葉
ever
が嫌い
showed any romantic interest in either.
Yeah, well, I mean, he did tell Ringo "I love you" at the when before he like kind of faded away. Um, but that was yeah, so that's kind of all there was. And I don't think he really did, but I don't think it was kind of romantic in a sense. But that's why I think it is the best thing that obviously he not in a weird way, not in a romantic way, obviously, but he ended up with Kanba. Like he ended up stuck with Kanba, and I think that's cool. Like I said, they have a really good relationship, and it just nice. Um, there's a couple shows I have no idea that are. Um, have you ever seen Erase Juniper?
I've seen it, yeah.
All right, let's look for another one. Uh,
That one's somewhat well known, though, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. Ha- have you ever seen Dead Man Wonderland? Because I know I have not.
I've heard of it, but haven't seen it.
We could do that because according to this, it's about they're in a type of prison where you win challenges to gain candy that will prolong your life there. On top of that, the people fighting using their blood, which is an interesting choice for battle. The show is very action focused, and there will be some really killer scenes. But they like the music. Should we do that one? Oh, Mercer has seen that one. Uh, we could still technically do it since we haven't. It's kind of unfinished. Never mind. Uh,
Yeah, we should probably do something that's actually finished.
mm, Doubles a part timer is also not finished. I know that. Um, Short but good finished animes. Let's do that. Finished. Have you ever seen Serial Experiments Lane? It's pronounced Lane.
I've seen that one. It's good, definitely.
Let's do Ghost Stories dub. You be quiet, dude. The Ghost Stories dub's awful. It is funny though. So I mean we could do that one. Ghost Story is wild.
Just as a warning, Serial Experiments Lane is possibly the most cerebral anime I've ever seen.
Would you mind dumbing that word down
Like,
a
if
bit?
you thought Mawaru Penguindrum was hard to understand,
This cerebral mean.
basically, I had to watch it multiple times to actually understand what was going on.
Oh, and possibly not. Have you ever
It is a classic, though.
maybe? Um. So I mean, what we could do is we can make the chat vote. So yeah, we'll add that one to the list. Have you ever seen Terror in Resonance?
Higurashi is probably the single most disturbing anime I've ever seen. I've also seen Terror in Resonance, aka Thank You No Terror. That's also a really good one.
You've seen like all these hidden gems. Jeez.
I mean, that's just kind of my taste in anime, I guess.
Heist Pokemon Origins on here.
That's a really obscure one.
Violet Evergarden. Can add that one. I haven't seen that one, but I've heard it's good. What's Higurashi? Maybe this needs some more to arrange, some research. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm researching. Have you ever seen Anohana?
I don't think I know anything about Violet Evergarden.
Me neither. Have you seen Anohana?
I have not. I don't know anything about that one actually.
I have seen this. This one's so sad. So I'm gonna add that one to the list. We'll make a poll right now for Anohana. We'll put Anohana. What was Elaine and what was the other one? I still recommend Frieren, not for this, but for anime fans in general. Yeah, because obviously Frieren isn't finished yet, I don't believe.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot of people say it's good.
Yeah. What was the third one I said? Terror of Resonance. Let's do some. Let's do one you haven't watched since this one you did, so we can make you watch stuff. It's good. Yeah. Let's do Anohana. Yeah, because I genuinely want you to see it. I don't know how you react to it because I can't lie. From it's been a minute since I've watched it, but from what I remember, I'm pretty sure I cried. Genuinely.
I'm up for going with that one, I think.
All right. It is only how many episodes was it? It's set. Let me find out.
Is anyone else gonna watch it though?
Probably still just
Except maybe Mercer.
Mercer, yeah. Um let's see how many episodes is it? It's 11 episodes. So to be honest, we could probably finish this in Anohana is good.
Have you
Cool.
already seen that one, Mercer?
Yeah, he says he has. He says it's good. I've seen this one, but would you be up for it or not, Mercer?
How the turntables. I'll be the only one who hasn't seen it.
Oh yeah, so it would be the opposite. Another really good one that I also made me cry that I just thought of was have you ever seen God, the day I became a god? I think it's what's called.
I'm not familiar with that one, no.
Yeah, I've never. Well, let me see if I can. The Yeah, it's called The Day I Became a God. So sad. I don't mind. It's your stream. Do whatever. True. You know what? I'm gonna make a poll. You and Juniper can vote. Amongst yourself, I'll make a poll. Anohana, Lane, and the day I became a god. There you guys go. Pick between those three. Also watch Howl's Moving Castle. It's a movie. Yeah, I've seen Howl's Moving Castle. It's pretty good.
I think that and Spirited Away are the only Ghibli movies I've seen.
Me too. um, I don't tend to watch anime movies too much. Besides like Silent Voice and Bubble and another one I can't remember right now. Oh, Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop is another one I've seen.
Have you not seen Paprika?
Can't say I have. The Day I Became a God sounds
A
interesting.
classic.
I'll put it on my watch list. The title is kind of misleading. The Day I Became a God, because it's not the main character guy that's technically the quote unquote god, but the day I became a mustard. All right, yeah. So is that what we're picking? Because no one else is voting. I'm gonna give you guys 2 minutes in case you guys want to change or pick. Oh, look at that! We did. We were able to talk for an hour 43. While you guys are waiting, did you never? What would you give Mawaru Penguindrum on a scale of 1 through 10?
At risk of sounding like a nerd, I'm more of a fan of the 1 to 9 scale.
All right. What do you? Okay, let's do that. What would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 9? What would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 9?
It's honestly hard to say. At least an 8.
I do think I also agree. I do think I also agree. It's a solid 8, especially with that ending. I think because it does feel like a whole different anime from the first half to the second half, and I do love that the end so much. Um, I do think its pacing was kind of off from the beginning, and but like you said, it's a puzzle. You have to know all the pieces before you really understand the start anyway. I find it hard to rank anything as top score because everything has room to improve. Oh, for sure, for sure. Um, but yeah, I do think it's a solid 8. That I do. The, and the ending, like the very end, I love hate relationship with it. I am kind of sad that everyone did forget about Sho and Khan, but at the same time, it's so beautiful that they are the only ones stuck together in the infinite loop. But yeah, so yeah, I would agree with that, with the 8.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone else is voting at this point.
Okay, I'll just end the poll. Like that's what we're watching. The day I became a god. Such a good. It is such a good anime. I'd say 7 through 8 out of 9. Yeah, I would also agree with that. I like in the middle. I will give is a mustard out of 9. Is that a good score? Is that a bad score? You didn't watch it anyways, V-Dad. Why am I asking you? I forgot to vote. I gave you almost 3. Oh, just tell me your vote. Just tell me your vote, dude. Only one person voted. It's not that hard to say.
Wait, who even voted? Because I didn't.
V-Dad, did you vote? I'm happy with that result. Okay. The only person who didn't watch this anime voted, because I didn't touch it either. I physically, I don't think I can vote because I made it. But yeah, that's really funny. But he did. Let's just say he's out happy with that result. Okay, let me just show you guys which one it is. I mean, there's only one that is called that, but just pull it up anyway. Too. And I hope Juniper, you'll like it as well. But yeah, and thank you for joining me here in the anime club on my little desk thing here. But yeah, thank you for suggesting Mawaru Penguindrum because it was a very good watch. I did enjoy myself while watching this.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I had a good time actually having people to talk about it with.
Cool. I'm glad you had fun. But yeah, Mercer's asking if you do want to vote, since you kind of are kind of the major talking points with me, because I don't really have anyone to bounce off of. If you weren't here, so which one out of the 3 would you want to view or watch?
I don't really want to be in the position to choose. Because again, I did suggest Mawaru Penguindrum to begin with.
All right, I respect that. Then we'll just go with V-Dad's choice of the day I became a god. So Mercer, V-Dad, watch it. I'm actually gonna put that. I'm gonna make an anime thingy in my Discord then. But yeah, and I will announce it in Discord. Everyone, start watching The Day I Became a God. I hope you guys do enjoy it, and I will actually rewatch it because I don't believe I remember anything but the ending. Yeah, thank you for coming again, Juniper, and um, I can't wait for next anime club. This was really fun.
Thank you for having me. I'll be sure to watch this one so we can actually talk about it next time.
Cool. All right. If you did that. Nice. All right. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining stream. I hope you guys have a great day, night, afternoon, evening, or morning, whatever you're having. Hope it's as amazing as you. I'll see you guys later today for another stream. But yeah. Hope you guys have a good one if I'm not gonna see you for the next